Truly Andre, what up, fam? Do you think the Cowboys will trade the 3rd round pick for O.J. Howard?
I think they'd offer, but why would the Bucs say yes? Like, I think you have to offer more than that to get O.J. Howard.
I love O.J. Howard. I think he's one of the most underappreciated tight ends in the
Now,
NFL.
maybe because of the contract, you can't get a full-on first, but I don't think a 3rd round pick is enough for O.J. Howard at all. Like, I don't think that makes much sense for the Bucs. They clearly like him. They didn't trade him away this past trade deadline. I'm sure that they can revisit that in the offseason. But a 3rd round pick, I don't think is anywhere near enough for the Bucs to say, yes, we're going to trade away our former 1st round pick, who we think is pretty good. They didn't use him all that well.
O.J. Howard is a very good tight end.
Yeah, I think that the Bucs would demand a whole lot more.
If you guys like O.J.,
he could be traded, but
type O.J. in the comments section.
Did O.J. do it? It's a fair question.
O.J., spam him. All right, let's go to Klondike, 69-16. What wide receiver would be the best fit for the Green Bay Packers? A healthy one.
Yeah, a healthy one would help.
MVS, not the answer.
I wouldn't mind. I think because I really only trust Devontae Adams, I think you could almost go any direction here. I would like to get some true deep speed. That's Henry Ruggs. I wouldn't mind a bigger body. I think Aaron Rodgers tends to like those guys. T. Higgins could make some sense there. Maybe Laviska Shenault makes a lot of sense, too.
So my only fear with Shenault is, again, it's the injuries. When you look at MVS, Geronimo Allison, a lot of injuries right there to Aaron Rodgers, who's 36, and he slowed down a little bit this year. That's a no-doubter.
Absolutely fair.
Let's go to Klondike's cousin. They look alike either way. Both of y'all get a picture. Where do you think Jalen Hurts goes?
It's a great question.
Normally you say one game doesn't impact draft stock. Did his game against LSU impact his draft stock?
One game does impact draft stock.
Okay.
But one game cannot eliminate everything you've done from a positive or a negative standpoint. Now, make no mistake, that game that Jalen Hurts put together, it's bad. It hurts him. He's also going to go to the Senior Bowl. He might be able to help out his draft stock a little bit there. I think he either goes mid to late day 2, early day 3. It's not major change from how I felt going in, because I think a team will gamble with him as a developmental guy. Worst case, I think he could be a Taysom Hill for you. Worst case.
Cool. Let's go to Carpet Shelf. Wow, I almost said that really weird. Henry Ruggs to the Saints. He's been throwing this one in the comments section for a while.
Yeah.
So Henry Ruggs, who's going to draft him?
He fits really well for the Saints, especially if you inevitably get a new quarterback who wants to go further downfield, and they have really so much with Drew Brees and Teddy Bridgewater. That he gives them extra speed. That's not named Ted Ginn. He'd be a great fit for the Saints. I don't know if he gets to them. Okay. I have a tough time seeing Henry Ruggs, because he is going to run in the 4.3s, getting out of the top 20 picks. Ooh. I think a team like Denver or Oakland gets to him before the Saints have a chance, unless they want to trade up, and they have no 2nd-round pick to do so.
When we did our NFL rumors video, Tom said that Henry Ruggs actually has a possibility of breaking John Ross's 4.22 40 speed. Yeah. I'll tell you what, when somebody lights up the combine like that, it's definitely going to raise his draft stock. So everyone who's watching us right now.
I hope he runs.
Oh, my gosh. Fingers crossed.
Want to do it.
So throw it in the comments. Everyone who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, we'll give out some shout-outs here. Who will draft Henry Ruggs? I think some people want him to go to the Saints. I've seen that one thrown in there. Heck, somebody said Patriots. I saw the Dolphins before. And to continue to get your questions here featured live on our show, Chat Sports, use that hashtag NFL. Let's go to my man, Triple X.
Yeah.
Grant Delpit to the Cowboys.
I am ready to get hurt again by a safety that I really like. I think that's Grant Delpit and even Xavier McKinney out of Alabama. I think Delpit makes sense for the Cowboys. They clearly showed interest this year in adding Jamal Adams.
Yep.
That was something they expressed interest in doing. They attempted to. Clearly, they are finally aware that they need a safety. And if you can't get Adams, I think Delpit's your top guy. Maybe it's Xavier McKinney instead. I think Delpit fits what the Cowboys need. There are some tackling issues less. Yes, he suddenly got better when his ankle was healthier. Go figure on that front. And he's really good in coverage. If I have to pick one, give me the coverage safety.
Seeing Cowboys, Dolphins, Cowboys from Henry Ruggs. Continue to get those hashtag NFLs in. And Triple X, I know you're subscribed, but if you're a Cowboys fan and you've never heard of the #1 Cowboys show on YouTube, well, now I'm going to tell it to you. YouTube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. The link is below. Subscribe. Tom's breaking out daily videos. Let's go to Rubes Magoobs. Besides Tua, which prospect has the biggest question marks?
It's a good one. I'm going to try and focus in here on the top guys.
Could you say Joe Burrow because he's the #1 overall pick?
No, because I don't think that's how is that a question mark? Like, why would that make him the biggest
Because Chase
question?
Young is such a lock as the best player, right?
No, I don't really think that logic tracks at all, frankly.
Okay, that's my logic.
Doesn't really make any sense. I'll probably go with a quarterback here. And Winston and Jacob, I think you guys are right here. It's probably someone like a Jordan Love, who was actually great in 2018. And then new coaching staff this year, 2019, it did not work out. He struggled. He looked inconsistent. His team was horrible. I am very curious, by the way, if national NFL media takes up but his players sucked around him in the same way for Jordan Love that they did for Daniel Jones. I mean, they ripped these Duke receivers. You better come with that same energy for Jordan Love, because his receivers were even worse by a pretty significant margin. So Love has a lot of question marks, and there are plenty of other prospects out there as well that maybe aren't quite as high up there that fit the same mold.
Appreciate the question, Rubes and Magoobs. Appreciate everyone watching. And I got a question for everyone who's watching us right now. We're using hashtag draft for a reason. And now we have a question. Do you like the NFL draft? Type Y for yes and type N for no. For those of you that type N for no, well, I don't know, get a life. For those of you that type in Y for yes, listen up. We had the #1 NFL draft show on YouTube on the internet last year. And if you guys want to hang out with Tom and I during the NFL draft, subscribe. I mean, I don't mean to brag. Actually, I do mean to brag. I do mean to brag. You talk about the NFL draft. It's your thing.
Hey, we went all 7 rounds last year. You'll get the exact same coverage this year. We'll do tons of grades. We'll bring up your comments like we do right now. No one will keep you more updated on the actual picks going on during the NFL draft than we will. None of all right, we're going to cut away from the next 10 picks of round 3 to talk to some coach.
I think we were live for like 42 hours.
Yeah, we're not going to cut away to go talk to a coach that no one wants to hear from for 3 hours. No, we're going to show you the picks and talk about them. Hit that sub button. You'll know more about the NFL draft than everybody else out there, because we're going to actually talk about it and not interview coaches for 5 hours on day 3, which nobody actually wants.
Winston Chan says sub and hit that bell. Right. Absolutely. Now, the other way that you can get your questions here on Chat Sports, guess what? When we get a lot of people watching us, heck, over 1,000 people right now, sometimes it's tough to see all the questions. An easy way to get your question on is by hitting that super chat. So, Joe, appreciate you. Do you think the Redskins should listen to offers to trade down from the second pick to acquire more draft picks, especially not having a second pick?
Yeah, I think you should listen if you're the Redskins. I don't see any harm in having those conversations. But I also think that Chase Young is, if he's not the best player this year, he's easily the second best, and there's frankly a bit of a drop-off after that. So for the Redskins, yes, you can listen. You absolutely should. I don't know if you're going to get an offer that is enough to have you move on from Chase Young.
I love this next question. It's from one of our most loyal watchers, the Popos. What up, my man? Johnny Football or JaMarcus Russell, who is better? I actually think this one's pretty easy.
Okay, what you thinking there?
I'm going to type my JF for Johnny Football, because I would say JaMarcus Russell is the biggest bust in NFL history.
That's fair, but also, is that because Manziel was better than JaMarcus Russell, or because Russell went higher?
I think Johnny Football was better than JaMarcus Russell. JaMarcus Russell now probably would be a lineman, if I had to guess. I don't know if you've seen recent pictures of JaMarcus.
Certainly heavy here.
He's definitely up there. So let us know in the comments, Johnny Football or JaMarcus Russell.
Billy Manziel myself, but that wasn't really an option on there.
Billy Manziel?
Yeah, that was his fake Vegas nickname.
It's all good. So who's the biggest draft bust in NFL history? Throw it in there. Yeah, I didn't get it. Who's the biggest draft bust in NFL history?
Probably Russell, especially with the way that contracts got out of control for those #1 overall picks. Probably JaMarcus, and then probably Ryan Leaf in some order.
Yep, we got some Ryan Leafs in there. Jarvis Jones.
He was a bust, but he wasn't the biggest bust.
I was going to say, I think it's between JaMarcus Russell and it's between Ryan
Winston
Leaf.
says Deion Jordan. That's a good one, too. I hadn't thought about that one.
I mean,
they traded up to get him, too.
They did. 3rd overall. All good, though. Seeing some Leafs, seeing JaMarcus Russell's. Those guys, they wasted, I think the teams that paid them, wasted a lot of money. Yeah. But if you guys want to win some big bucks here, go to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. For those of you that want to bet on the NFL playoffs, maybe you want to bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl, BetDSI, we're going to hook you up. So listen up, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120 for 120% deposit bonus. And if you want to make some extra money during the draft, Tom.
Combine prop bets, maybe hope they bring them back again this year, and hopefully I didn't take them for too much money, because I won a lot on that. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code again is NFL120.
Let's go to Aiden Schnurr. He's been watching for basically an hour. What up, dude? What is the best fit for the Panthers at the 7th pick?
The best available defensive player, probably, because they have all kinds of free agents.
Go check out
there.
Tom's mock.
Yeah, I do have a mock draft up on the channel right now. You can check out who I had the Carolina Panthers taking. It is a defensive player. You might lose James Bradbury, some other corners. Maybe look at a guy like Christian Fulton. I doubt Jeffrey Okudah's there. It's probably the upper echelon of, say, Grant Delpit range, or Grant Delpit's range, I should say. Probably fine at linebacker. Defensive line, pass rush, both need help. Maybe Derek Brown at Auburn. All options right now. Still early, of course, but
let's go to my man FSU 2025. Who will the Bucks draft?
the next year they're going to go bowling.
And will or
I'm
should
kidding.
the Bucks
I'm sorry.
keep Winston? So should the Bucks keep Winston?
And
who will they draft?
They shouldn't.
They will.
I kind of wonder if they're going to franchise tag him. I really do.
Imagine throwing for 30 interceptions and getting franchise tagged.
I mean,
amazing.
I think the issue is for the Bucks. Like in a bubble, Winston's not your guy, but the problem is that Arians wants to win now.
Yep.
Who are you going to get out there that's going to help you win right now?
Don't say Jameis.
Well, but like there aren't any other options out there.
I agree.
So you're in a very awkward situation.
Tony Holder 11 says the Bucks should sign Marcus Mariota.
Does that actually do anything for you, though?
I actually think you're worse with Marcus Mariota. With that offense that Arians wants to run.
Honestly, I kind of wonder if you are. So, I mean, draft-wise, I think you look offensive line first and foremost, and maybe an extra defensive piece, too.
I mean, you also
especially
have
edge rusher if you lose
they probably have
Shaq
the best
Barrett.
wide receiver duo in the NFL right now, Godwin and Evans.
That's very true that they do.
Let's go to Winston Shan. What up, my man? Continue to use hashtag draft to get your questions featured on the show. Who could be a trade partner with the Cardinals with David Johnson? Highest value probably is a second-round pick. Chiefs, Dolphins, Bears.
You know what? It's not that high. I don't think you're getting a second-round pick for him.
I definitely wouldn't.
I don't know if you're getting any pick for David Johnson
especially
right now.
because of how good Kenyon Drake looked at the end of the year.
He was horrible this year. I mean, he looked slow. He did not look good. And not only that, you're paying David Johnson next year over $11 million. Like, in terms of his base salary, which is fully guaranteed already, and the part of his next year's salary is going to guarantee too, his base salary and roster bonuses.
Whew.
Who's going to pay David Johnson over $11 million?
David Johnson's
Nobody.
agent.
So I think for Arizona, honestly, what you do, move him to slot, full-time receiver. You can't play him in the backfield anymore. You can't do it. And Cliff Kingsbury loves to throw the football. Move him to the slot receiver, or hope he gets healthy. Like, I think those are your options, Frank, and that's not a good sign. If you are an Arizona Cardinals fan, you're not getting a second-round pick for him. There's simply no way.